What if I told you that the most glamorous name on the Las Vegas Strip has quietly become one of the worst values in Sin City? The Wynn Las Vegas, a resort that once defined five-star luxury for everyone, now charges more than ever while delivering less than before. We are not talking about inflation. We are talking about a deliberate strategy to squeeze every dollar out of tourists who still believe the brand means what it used to. From shrinking rooms to disappearing perks, to games redesigned to drain your wallet faster, the evidence is everywhere. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will see Wynn Las Vegas in a way you never have before. Number 10. Luxury rooms shrunk while prices grew. Picture this. You book a Wynn Resort King room expecting the spacious elegance the brand is famous for. After all, Wynn built its reputation on rooms that made guests feel like royalty. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Base rooms at Wynn still measure around 640 square feet, which sounds impressive until you realize that nightly rates have climbed past $700 during peak weekends. That is a cost per square foot that rivals Manhattan real estate. Guests who visited years ago remember rooms that felt more generous, with furniture arrangements that invited lingering. Today, the layouts feel tighter. Decorative touches have been streamlined. Storage space has been reduced. The room itself may not have physically shrunk, but when prices soar while furnishings are quietly edited down, the experience absolutely shrinks. You are paying dramatically more for a stay that feels noticeably leaner. This is not inflation. This is repositioning. Wynn is extracting maximum revenue from every guest while trimming the small touches that once made luxury feel effortless. The result is a room that looks beautiful in photos, but leaves many visitors wondering what exactly they are paying for anymore. The minibar selections have been reduced, and complimentary items have quietly disappeared. But if the rooms feel smaller, the shock really hits when you sit down to eat. Number 9. Menu prices drifted beyond Strip norms. Wynn has always positioned its restaurants as world-class, and many of them genuinely are. Wingley became the first Chinese restaurant in America to earn a Michelin star. SW Steakhouse serves certified Kobe beef that rivals anything in Tokyo. The food is exceptional. The prices, however, have floated into a category that feels disconnected from reality. Today, a 4-ounce portion of Japanese Wagyu at SW can cost between $200 and $400. A seafood spectacular appetizer runs over $150. Even the beloved Wynn Buffet now charges $60 for brunch and $80 for dinner. Compare these numbers to similar tier restaurants at Bellagio or Venetian, and you will find Wynn consistently sits 10 to 20% higher, sometimes more. The ingredients are the same. The suppliers are often identical. The cuts of beef come from the same ranches, yet the final bill at Wynn lands noticeably heavier. Guests regularly share their shock online. One reviewer complained about paying $10 for an ordinary bottle of water at a Wynn bar. Others have documented $30 bagel and coffee combos. These prices are not driven by superior ingredients. They are driven by what the market will tolerate from guests who assume the Wynn name guarantees value. But value and brand prestige are two very different things. Portion sizes have quietly decreased while presentation remains Instagram-worthy, but leaves stomachs wanting. Speaking of growing costs you cannot avoid, let us talk about the resort fee, a charge that has become impossible to justify. Number 8. Resort fees detached from actual amenities. Here is something Wynn does not want you thinking about too carefully. Every single night you stay, the resort adds a $55 fee plus tax to your bill. That pushes the actual charge past $60 per night before you have stepped foot in the gym, used the Wi-Fi, or dipped a toe in the pool. The fee supposedly covers fitness center access, pool entry, in-room internet, and a digital newsstand. Sounds reasonable until you realize that guests pay this fee regardless of whether they use any of these amenities. Skip the gym? You still pay. Never touch the pool? You still pay. Arrive late and leave early without using a single included service? You still pay. What makes this especially frustrating is that during certain periods, pools close for maintenance, fitness centers reach capacity, and guests find themselves paying for amenities they physically cannot access. One recent reviewer described paying the full resort fee during a stay when the pool was closed, and Wi-Fi access was never provided. The fee went through anyway. This is not hospitality. It is extraction. The resort fee exists primarily to make advertised room rates look lower, while burying the true cost in checkout surprises. Wynn is not alone in this practice, but its fee ranks among the highest on the Strip. And when you are already paying premium prices for everything else, that extra $60 per night feels less like convenience and more like insult. The fee has increased multiple times recently with no additional services added. But the real financial ambush is not at the front desk. It is on the casino floor, where the games have quietly been restructured to take your money faster. Number 7. Table game side. Bets. Quietly multiplied. Walk through the Wynn Casino today, and you will notice something different about the table games. Nearly every blackjack table now features colorful side bet options with names that sound exciting. Lucky Lucky, perfect pairs, progressive jackpots that flash tempting numbers. These bets did not exist in the same volume a decade ago. They have multiplied because they work, not for players, but for the house. A standard blackjack game played with basic strategy gives the casino an edge of around 0.5%. Add a side bet, and that edge can jump to 10% or higher. Some side bets carry house advantages exceeding 14%. Players believe they are still playing the same game. The base rules might be identical, but the table is designed to encourage additional wagers that dramatically favor the casino. Dealers are trained to call attention to these options. The betting circles are positioned prominently. First-time visitors often assume these are normal parts of the game. They are not. They are separate bets engineered to drain bankrolls faster. Wynn's casino floor has leaned heavily into this model, adding more side bet options across more tables while keeping minimum bets elevated. The result is a gaming experience that looks unchanged but plays much harder against the tourist. The progressive displays create excitement while mathematically offering the worst odds on the floor. And if table games feel harder to beat, the slot floor has been engineered to be even less forgiving. Number 6. Slot denominations pushed upward. Remember when every major casino had penny slots in prime locations? Those days are fading fast, especially at Wynn. Walk the casino floor, and you will notice that lower denomination machines have been pushed to the edges, while dollar and higher denomination games dominate the best real estate. This is not an accident. It is a calculated floor strategy. Higher denomination machines generate more revenue per square foot. From the casino's perspective, a guest playing $5 per spin is worth more than 10 guests playing 50 cents. But for visitors on a budget, the shift is devastating. The machines visible from main pathways, positioned near bars and restaurants, placed in high traffic zones, these are increasingly high volatility games designed to extract money quickly. Strip casinos already hold a higher percentage on penny slots than anywhere else in Nevada, with house win rates exceeding 11% in some cases. Wynn compounds this by reducing access to lower denomination games entirely. Guests who once stretched their entertainment budget across hours of affordable play now find themselves burning through funds in minutes. The casual gambler, the tourist here for fun rather than fortune, is being quietly priced out of the experience. Machine placement strategically positions highest hold percentages where tired guests sit down without thinking. And if you think complimentary drinks might soften the blow, you should hear what has happened to cocktail service. Number 5. Complimentary drinks slowed to a crawl. There was a time when cocktail servers circled casino floors like clockwork, making sure every player felt valued, regardless of bet size. At Wynn today, that rhythm has changed. Guests consistently report longer waits between drink offers, especially in areas with lower denomination machines. Table players notice faster service than slot players. High-limit rooms receive priority attention, while the main floor feels understaffed. This is not perception, it is policy. Wynn has publicly stated that complimentary drinks at bar areas are offered on a limited basis, authorized according to each guest's play level. In other words, the free drink you expect is actually conditional on how much money the casino expects you to lose. Play modestly, and servers might never reach your section. The message is clear. Your entertainment matters less than your theoretical value to the house. What once felt like hospitality now feels transactional. Visitors from smaller markets, where drink service remains generous regardless of bet size, find the contrast jarring. You are paying $700 per night for a room, $60 in resort fees, $20 cocktails if you buy them yourself, and the casino still rations complimentary service based on algorithms. This is not luxury. This is optimization disguised as hospitality. Unlike most casinos, Wynn does not comp drinks at video poker bars, regardless of wager. And speaking of things that look generous but have been quietly diluted, let us talk about those dining credits advertised in vacation packages. Number 4. Dining credits reduced while prices rose. Wynn regularly promotes vacation packages that include dining credits. Spend 2 nights, get $100 toward food and beverage. Sounds valuable until you actually try to use it. A decade ago, $100 at a Wynn restaurant covered a substantial meal for 2. Today, that same credit barely covers appetizers and drinks before you reach for your wallet. Menu prices have climbed year after year, but the credit amounts in promotional packages have not kept pace. The buffet alone now costs $80 per person for dinner. 2 guests with a $100 credit would still pay $60 out of pocket before tax and tip. Add alcohol, and the credit evaporates before the entrees arrive. This creates a gap between expectation and reality that leaves guests feeling misled. The package sounded generous at booking. The experience at checkout feels like bait and switch. Wynn is not technically lying. The credits are real, but the value those credits represent has been systematically eroded by menu inflation. What once felt like a meaningful perk now feels like a coupon that covers less than you need. Even birthday credits for platinum members barely cover dinner for one at signature restaurants. And this pattern of shrinking value while maintaining the appearance of generosity extends beyond dining into the physical spaces of the resort itself. Number 3, paid experiences replaced free atmosphere. Part of what made Wynn magical was the ambient luxury available to every guest. You could wander gardens, linger near the Lake of Dreams, or simply soak in the atmosphere without anyone asking for money. That openness is narrowing. Pool cabanas that once felt accessible now require reservations, with rental fees starting at hundreds of dollars. Premium spots command $750 or more on busy weekends, with no food and beverage credit included. Everything ordered is additional. Lounge areas that were once first come, first served now feature reserved seating that prices out casual visitors. Even Encore Beach Club, the famous pool party venue, charges significant entry fees and locker rentals that can run $40 to $75 just to store your belongings. The resort is systematically converting ambient luxury into ticketed experiences. Spaces that once created atmosphere are now revenue centers. The result is a property that feels less like a resort and more like a theme park, where every attractive corner has been monetized. Guests who simply want to enjoy the property without constant spending decisions find themselves squeezed out of the very environments that made Wynn special. Daybed rentals have doubled in price, while capacity limits restrict access more than ever. And when even loyalty becomes automated, the experience stops feeling human altogether. Number 2, VIP treatment became algorithmic. There was a time when casino hosts knew their guests by name. They remembered yours. The system tracks every wager, computes your expected contribution to the casino's bottom line, and allocates comps accordingly. Visit frequency, years of loyalty, personal connection with staff, none of these factors carry the weight they once did. The numbers decide. Hosts now receive assignments based on player value metrics rather than relationship history. A guest who has visited Wynn for 15 years might find themselves deprioritized because their average bet dropped below threshold levels. Meanwhile, a first-time visitor with a large credit line receives immediate attention. This shift reflects broader industry trends, but Wynn's implementation feels particularly cold given the resort's 5-star positioning. Guests accustomed to being treated as individuals now feel processed as data points. Comp thresholds have risen dramatically, requiring $250 per hand for 4 hours for basic ratings. And when hospitality becomes algorithmic, something essential disappears, which brings us to the proof that matters most. Number 1. Guests feel managed, not hosted. Here is what the spreadsheets cannot capture. Here is what no balance sheet reveals. Wynn Las Vegas has become a resort that manages tourists rather than welcomes them. The staff remains professional. The property remains beautiful. The amenities technically exist, but the feeling has changed. Guests describe interactions that feel scripted rather than genuine. Service that prioritizes efficiency over warmth. Experiences designed around extraction rather than delight. The CEO himself stated publicly that Wynn Las Vegas is not necessarily built for those visiting on a tight budget. That positioning is their right. But when premium pricing coexists with diminished service, restricted perks, and games redesigned to accelerate losses, something has broken. Luxury is not just about what you charge, it is about what you deliver. The best resorts in the world command high prices because they exceed expectations at every turn. Wynn increasingly charges those prices while trimming the experiences that justified them. The resort still photographs beautifully. The brand still carries prestige. But walk the property with experienced eyes, and you will see the gaps, the slower service, the tighter spaces, the constant opportunities to spend more for what used to be included. Tourists notice. They share their experiences online. They choose other properties for their next visit. The decline is not dramatic. It is quiet. It happens one disappointed guest at a time. Online reviews increasingly mention feeling nickel and dimed at a property, promising the opposite. And that is perhaps the most damning proof of all. Is the Wynn name still worth the premium in 2025? Or has the brand cashed in its reputation one resort fee at a time? Drop your thoughts below.